200 subscribers, another milestone for this channel. Greetings to my fellow fans and viewers. First, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for helping me achieve 200 subscribers on YouTube. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue growing this community together. To celebrate this milestone, I'll be sharing clips from a fantastic day trip in the Greater Toronto Area during Easter weekend, specifically on Good Friday of this year, when I had the opportunity to explore the outside for the day. Our first stop of the day is Snider West, located by the Pioneer Village parking lot and ironically residing at the first milepost on the CN Halton subdivision. This spot is famous for containing non-stop train traffic 24/7, although it depends on the time and day when the busy flow will occur. Anyways, let's get cracking on the rail recap, starting with CN L559 making their way to Malport carrying 13 manifest cars from Backyard. Not even 5 minutes after, CN Q107 is given the light to Doncaster, where it'll merge onto the ballast sub at the junction near Green Lane in Thornhill, Ontario. It's always nice to see different power on 107 other than basic GEVOs. The line lay dead for an hour since 107's passage, but after running into MJM Productions down by the Searchlight Tower, he notified me of 2 incoming westbounds, with the former merging off the York sub further east and the latter exiting the ballast sub northeast of here. Up versus the former in CN Z121 charging straight to the intermodal facility in Brampton, residing 18 kilometers southwest. CN Z114 is the questionable ladder with an awesome pair of dash 9s. I noticed the lead unit 2553 sporting a rather tiny noodle laying on its nose area. As 114 is busy creeping towards BIT, it encountered Q103, who was seen occupying the bypass track with a clear shot to Doncaster and eventually the various areas of the battle sub, powered by two former CREX G-boats in a 1x1 formation. once sporting nothing but sunshine throughout the morning, quickly turned to 2 gray conditions as the day goes on, and I concluded my Snider West visit with the late 396 slowly making their approach to Mackyard, featuring a newly rebuilt NBSR GP-CBU positioned 4th behind 3 old-school GEs. It wasn't until an hour later when MGM Productions and I both collabed once again, and this time we assembled our equipment by the searchlights at Dixie for an oncoming CP230 about to catapult past Laurelane Avenue with the foreign trailer. After 2:30, the rail traffic would lay dead for quite a while, and willing to kill off the waiting game, I chilled out in Brampton for a bit, but then I was notified about an Ontario Northlander test train charging south down the Bala. Speaking of the Bala sub, it's preparing to witness ONR's Northlander make its first appearance in over a decade after being discontinued in 2012. This permanent reinstatement will result in old crossings being upgraded to modern WCHA's equipment, old searchlights being upgraded, which includes Pefferlaw and Zephyr North, Cedar Brae receiving a siding installation, a possible abolishment of CN 450 and 451, and lastly, the railway purchasing the now former CN Newmarket subdivision, which travels southwest to its termination in Timmins, Ontario, once it leaves the ballast up of Washago. Continuing the ONR test run saga, I plucked Oriole Go to film their passage, but I should have thought of elaborating earlier to reposition either at the walkway bridge or each end of the platform than to stand under the 401 freeway overpass, as the intense outside lighting interfere with the station lights under the overpass. Here I'm only sharing the pics of the Northlander test run due to messing up the filming process. During a 740-kilometer journey, it runs under symbol ONR P300 and P301 during its test run between Toronto's Maintenance Center and Timmins, soon to originate from Union Station when September arrives. As the session sees a conclusion ahead, I made my way into the northeast portion of Halton Hills to stay close to home, specifically positioning myself at the Norval control point. After pulling in, I got word that CN 435 was nearby with an awesome trio. But first, 424 rolls by with 2 EMD units for power. While 424 passes, 435 slowly cruises through as it faces a slow restriction ahead up to Mill Base to inspect 302's broken drawbar, later holding up a great deal of traffic until early evening. In the meantime, I hung out at Georgetown for another half an hour until checking ATCS for the CP Galt sub that an eastbound was lying Guelph Junction. I I then drove south to Lisgar station as friendly neighborhood railfan and myself caught CP134 as the questionable eastbound with an uncommon KCS ST70 Ace leader. The entire Ace fleet is prohibited to lead in Canada as they lack comfort amenities for the Canadian crews such as hot plates, refrigerators, and cushioned seats. Additionally, these malls require upgrades to their system and cab signaling devices to meet the strict Transport Canada locomotive safety rules dialogue for cross-border operations. Once again, to my fellow fans and viewers watching, thank you all very much for helping me reach 200 subscribers and for tuning into this milestone video. Your support truly means a lot, and I hope we can continue growing this channel in the future. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to show some support by giving this video a thumbs up, click subscribe if you want to grow your channel, and feel free to drop a comment below. Until next time, I hope to see you again real soon. Cheers!